Have you ever thought, wow, that's way too much money to spend for that thing? Like, you have way too much money when you own one of those things. More after the break. Well, hello, it's Jennifer Kramer-Lewis here, and welcome to the Audacious Podcast. So what is the Audacious Podcast, you ask yourself? Well, the Audacious Podcast is all about audacious life and living. And doesn't that sound delicious? So what if you actually didn't have to have a problem to ask for more to come into your life? And what would it be like for you to have more than your fair share of everything? More money, more possibilities, more friends, more lovers, more food, more delicious, juicy, fun times in your life, more vacations, even trips across the world, more profitable clients, more everything? So that's what the Audacious Podcast is all about. It's asking you to create more in your life and inviting you to that paradigm. So, what do you do when you notice yourself separating from opulence or wealthy people's things? Here's my top 3 tips and tools that you can use to keep the financial floodgates open in your life and business and create more for you. Even a 4-door Porsche, if that would add to your life. Tip number 1. What if you are connected to everything, including opulence and wealth? Think back to the talk about wealthy people that occurred around you as a child. Was it a me or them paradigm? Was it the haves and the have-nots, with you on the have-not side? I remember the first time I heard the term born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Instead of separating, I was more curious about what that would be like. What would my life be like if I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth? Funnily enough, recently my husband and I were cleaning out some belongings of his parents that were passed along to us as his inheritance, and there was a set of silver spoons in there that were covered in gold. How fun is that? Now, when I serve dessert, we use those spoons because they're much more fun. Notice the things that you would choose if you were wealthy and the things that you wouldn't. Some of my friends have millions of dollars worth of land. Some horses. Some antiques. What if you could choose what it is that you choose to invest in without separation? Tool number 1. A question you could ask is, Universe, please show me where I've separated myself from wealth, prosperity, investments, accumulation, and cash. Then notice and journal what pops up for you over the next few weeks and when something shows itself to you. Ask, Universe, please show me what including this thing in my life would be like. Tip number 2. What futures are you already creating? What if you are already making giant strides in your financial future? There's something called the wedge effect. Even being aware of changes that you would like to make in your financial future creates changes. How much have you changed financially in the last 5 years? The 5 years before that? Have a look at the financial realities of your parents, your grandparents. What can you choose every day that those people could not even conceive of? I remember noticing when I didn't mentally have to calculate the amount of groceries I was buying and stopping and rejoicing that I had created a financial reality that did not include worrying about getting a good deal on my groceries, and that I could choose the foods that my body was attracted to rather than buying what was on sale or stretching my budget. Not there yet? What if that could be a financial target for you? Always having more money in your bank account at the end of the month than you have used for your life and living. Tap into that. What future would you create just by asking for that to show up for you? Tool number 2. A question you could ask is, Universe, show me gratitude for me and everything that I have created. Then notice who and what shows up in your life. Is it gifts? Is it discounts? An accumulation in your investment accounts? A client of mine asked this question and then discovered her property had accumulated $150,000 in value over the last calendar year. How cool is that? What would that be like for you to discover something that you already own is worth 10 times more than what you paid for it? Tip number 3, give your bank accounts, investments, and things jobs, and be willing to cut them loose if they are not living up to their potential. I always ask things that I'm considering buying. If I buy you, will you be worth more after I buy you? Then, if I get a yes, I ask, if I buy you, will you be fun? The universe acts on a simple principle: ask and you shall receive. So how cool is it to ask your things to accumulate in value? You can also ask them to let you know when a good time to let them go to other people for top dollar is. A friend of mine is a genius at buying things and relocating them to other owners and making a nice profit on the transaction. What if you could charge more for something just because you know it's worth more? Tool number 3, a question you can ask is, what investments or objects speak to me and I could ask to accumulate in value? I notice that people's businesses yell at me. And I love doing business readings and working with business owners. It's easy and super fun for me. What is easy and super fun for you to dialogue with? Well, everybody, my name is Jennifer Kramer Lewis, and that was the Audacious Podcast. How much more audacious can you be in your life and living now? Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to ask. So if you love this podcast, if you found the information valuable, please subscribe and hit the notification tab so you know when we're live again. This podcast comes out weekly and sometimes even more than that. So we look forward to having fun with you, having your business be more audacious and more profitable than you ever thought possible. Thank you so much. My name is Jennifer Kramer Lewis, and this is the Audacious Podcast. See you again soon.